I'm Ian Stevens. I'm the police sector inspector for Torquay. Rough sleeping is something we see in Torquay. It's an issue that's not just a Torquay problem. It's an issue that we see right away across the peninsula, across Devon and Cornwall, in our major urban areas. We do have people sleeping, or rough sleepers, people sleeping on the streets in Torquay. The problems that we see in Torquay are not Torquay-centric. There are the same issues that we see in Exeter and Plymouth and in other areas across the peninsula. Our approach to people who are sleeping rough is sometimes to respond to some of the other behaviours, be it antisocial behaviour or criminal activity. That is where our sort of areas of expertise sit. We have the police powers to deal with those behaviours, be it through the courts or be it through some kind of diversionary activity. One of our main drivers as a police is around safeguarding individuals and trying to address people's vulnerabilities. Now, some rough sleepers do have various health issues. And with those key individuals, we can signpost them to the right statutory agency to address their welfare needs and their medical needs. Often, first thing in the morning, we're called to deal with rough sleepers because they're sleeping in doorways. Sometimes there are obstruction situations where we'll ask those people to move, and more often than not they do. Obviously, if the individual becomes violent or abusive, then a call to the police and we can come and deal with that. And if there are any criminal offences, they can be assessed and we can deal with those appropriately. But I know a lot of the shopkeepers are taking, designing out an issue, is probably the term that I'd probably use, in relation to putting shutters there just to prevent people sleeping in them. Yeah, TESH is a real step forwards for Torbay. And it links into the homeless agenda, but also it looks to address some of our begging issues in the town centre, in so much as we do have rough sleepers and we do have people who have addresses to live at, actively begging on the streets. Often we find that the individuals are begging for money, but that money is not necessary to support them in relation to rough sleeping. It's sometimes used to support their other activities around drug use and alcohol consumption. So actually, by giving money to a registered charity or a forum like TESH, that money can then be allocated specifically to actually have more of a sustainable impact and a long-term impact on these individuals' lives.